And a very good evening. Welcome to the Friday sessions right here on Cobra TV, on the Cobra Rugby Club Facebook page, as well as the Cobra Rugby Club YouTube channel. It's been 2 weeks since we've had our break, and it's been a welcome break for both of us, actually. We've been very busy. Of course, thank you very much for all of you for joining us. All 9 so far, which is really great. Because usually you won't get anyone remembering us, but I suppose our club still has some little pull here and there. Right, how have you been, actually, Dylan, the last 2 weeks? Tell us a bit about the Cobra complex. I've heard there's been quite an update on it as well.
Well, it's pretty much getting things together. I think from our last session, I think the sports hall, the hall itself, is getting quite a makeover. I think it should be ready. The sports hall should be open. Let me just see. It's maybe in 2 weeks it'll be ready to go. We'll run a testing and commissioning session. So anybody keen to, well, we'll send private invites out to do a test and commission.
Was that playing basketball?
Yeah, well, we've actually installed new LED lights in the hall, so it's a lot brighter now, and it doesn't take ages. Some of the bulbs are probably older than some of the younger players on the rugby team.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Definitely a lot older than a lot of the Cobrats players. Now, of course, it's been quite a whirlwind 2020, to say the least. We've obviously had quite a number of shows as well. It's been nice to have these shows on and to keep people, updated about what the club is going through. Of course, what rugby is going through as a whole, not just from our platform or other platforms as well on the net. Now, first and foremost, let's make and do with some house announcements. My God, I'm getting excited because I haven't done a show in a while. Of course,
You've been busy.
Well, luckily had a bit of work throughout that thing. Of course, as usual, there is no training until further notice. Although the CMCO is officially supposed to be ending on December the 9th, we're not gonna jump the gun. We'll wait for the official news, and of course, we'll see how we can plan to go ahead with some rugby before the end of the year, hopefully. But otherwise, let's plan. We'll probably be planning for 2021. Of course, for those of you who are still keen to go to the club, the Cobra Bar and Restaurant is open from Monday to Saturday from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. now with the new timings, and Sundays it will open from 3 p.m.
I gotta apologize to those who've been trying to reach the club via our landline. Because of CMCO, we've not really had anybody on the ground to answer phone calls. But we'll sort it out probably once in January. We'll have everything in place where a landline would actually be in working order. But check the sites. I think we'll share. You can call if you're interested in the bar and restaurant. Get Boon. Contact Boon. Do you have a number on hand there? That's right.
Yep.
012-212-7000. He'll sort you out if you want to make reservations at the bar and restaurant.
Exactly. So just to finish off, of course, the CMCO SOPs, there'll be temperature checks, detail recording, social distancing. Of course, the last call at the bar or at the restaurant, at the bar, will be at 11:15 daily, especially on Mondays to Saturdays. So yes, so the bar and restaurant is still open, but make your way down there. If you have any questions about the club, do email us at cobrarcwebsite@gmail.com.
Okay. You can go to our Facebook site, send a messenger there. We'll respond to you straight away.
That's right. Yes, that's right. I forget sometimes because I'm personally off social media only for Cobra.
I thought it was age catching up. You're not on some of these sites anymore.
No, on those sites. I'm not sure whether we still have the lunch promos. So lunch promos are still on, I guess. So
I think it's on. It's still on. It's still on. They were handing out iced lemon teas the other day, whether we wanted it or not.
So there's 10% discounts on all food items, and of course free iced lemon tea for when you order any of our mains, and of course a lunch promotion, 10% discount. A quick hello to Botak Azli Kasim. I hope you're recovering well from your surgery and enjoying your rest. Do have a rest. We've got plenty of time until rugby begins again, and maybe you might want to come on and join and play a veterans game one of these days, if you can, only if you can. Right. Of course, the theme for today's show is the COBRA 10s memories and moments, and we have someone who we've not seen for a long time, and he is fondly known as the King at the Cobra Rugby Club. He was based in Johor for the longest time. He's now come back home.
King for all the wrong reasons.
King for all the wrong reasons. He is a man, I wouldn't say a man for all seasons, but a man who likes to keep time to himself. We'll find out a bit more about that. Let's go and introduce him onto the show Cobra TV. Azhar King Jamal, how are you?
I'm good.
Of course, I'd like to mention, because it's Friday sessions, and just to let our audiences know that you are wearing a Cobra tie. Yes, just checking. Yeah, we're just checking. See, his Cobra tie
for this special occasion.
For this special occasion, yes.
It's authentic.
Because I understand that you've left all your Cobra jerseys and stuff in Johor, so you didn't have anything back home. You don't have any Cobra stuff except for your Cobra tie. Mm-hmm. So anyway, Nico says hello, legends. Eugene says King.
Okay.
Balu also saying hello, legends. Brother-in-law, we miss you, he says.
For those guys listening in, or for those who are watching, or for later on, you need to guess why is he called King, or is King the complete nickname? That's all those things. Maybe towards the later end of the show, maybe a special prize for those who figure it out. Why, how, when? I don't know.
We'll figure it out. Now, of course, Prakash says hello all, and there you go. Okay, Azhar, why is the King not in spandex?
Okay, please, you can please indulge the masses.
Okay,
you want to explain why spandex and why you're not in spandex? We'd like to explain that to everyone.
Okay, I'll be in spandex tomorrow morning when I go cycling. So and it's more lycra. I don't think spandex people use that anymore as much.
I wouldn't know. We don't cycle, so I
gotta ask you, since you're in your heydays of rugby until now, how many kilos have you lost?
Ooh, that's a lot.
Just to give people an image.
Well, I used to be, the heaviest I was 140 kilos. Now I'm I think 82. Yeah. So
what are you at now?
82.
That's about my weight.
Yes.
So that's about pretty much over 50 kilo drop.
Yeah, but when I was playing rugby a lot with Dylan and Rashid and all, I used to be about 110 now.
You're the prop.
Yeah, that's an ideal weight for a prop or a rugby player should be. Yeah,
we are forward.
I'd like to say I was 110 kilos of twisted steel and sex appeal, but
no doubt to that. No doubt to that.
You better stay, because there's I've got a nice surprise for you. A quick hello to Sai. Hello, King Cobra. Sai, you better stay online because we got something special for you as well. And Abu Zainal says, hey guys, hi Zaini, hope you're well.
This guy's a cyclist. This guy's a hardcore cyclist, this guy.
Yeah. So we've got cyclists and rugby players watching the show.
No, but he's also in the rugby family. Remember, he was here for the Cobra's family as a Warga rugby.
Right. Yeah. All right. Okay. So just a quick thing. Obviously, for those of you who don't know what the COBRA 10s is about, COBRA 10s was actually created on the same year that that Cobra was formed in 1957.
67.
So, 67. Sorry, why do I keep saying 57? Oh, this one, Malaya independence. Yes. yes. So out in that house, okay, and of course and ever since then we have team. It used to be COBRA 10s, a local until it changed into the international version in 1993, if I do recall. Yeah, and of course everyone used to challenge for the Dr. Hui Weng Chun Challenge Trophy. The late Dr. Hui just passed away last year, so he managed to come for our 50th anniversary and was our guest of honor. So it was really great to see the founder and the first president of the club attend our celebrations.
Dr. Hui passed this year.
Yes, was it this year or late last year?
It's this year.
This year. Oh, it's this year.
Lost him.
My God, 2020 has been. So yeah, so condolences to the family and of course he what a legacy that he and his fellow founders created, and many of the founders are still alive today, although we are 50 over years old. But this year was supposed to be our 50th COBRA 10s. Yeah, unfortunately, it's been pushed forward to 2021. So we do look forward to that. And of course, the both of you, the three of us, have been involved in the COBRA 10s in one way or another over the years, and that's the reason why we have you as our guest today, Asa, because you have been front, center, and behind the scenes for almost every year since we've been around with Cobra. And here we go. Saya says, "How many brother-in-laws do you have?" Woo-wee! Well, you know what? Asa is everyone's brother-in-law. So
that's right.
Yeah. So quick bula. Now, what's your first memory of the COBRA 10s? I was also
just,
before that.
I gotta say, just before why we're into this,
did you say
the last 2 weekends was meant to be our COBRA 10s and COBRA 10s mini. So in the last 2 weeks, I have to say there's been a lot of when on Facebook everyone shares their memories. Yeah, they're all sharing their child playing rugby with their child with a medal. I miss the coaching. I miss all that. It's so it's quite because it carries a lot of. It seems to missing the COBRA 10s this year. It seems to resonate with a lot of people.
Okay. Anyway, so
let's go back to you, right?
Yeah, you're right, because everyone. I mean, that's why we have these shows. So just to bring back some memories. My first memory of COBRA 10 is actually 1990, either playing in it or 91. I can't remember. But since we're here with you, Asa, what's your first memory of COBRA 10s? Actually, let's start for the audience out there. How did you start? How did you join Cobra?
Well, how I joined Cobra was I was a late bloomer when it came to rugby. I only discovered it in college. So I went to help college, and everybody we decided to start a rugby team, or some of the guys decided to start a rugby team, and I thought that was a good game to get into because it was very, very big size and quite portly, and I liked watching rugby, but never really had a chance to play it. So when that happened, we tapped on the expertise of Cobra. Or we had one player, famous Dato Dex, who was already quite active or knew of Cobra and knew of people from Cobra, and he said, guys, why don't we do our own training, but we should also look at something a bit more long term and head on down to Cobra and learn from the team. And that's not exactly the first team that I went to. I went to that other club that we are rivals with.
Last time.
Yeah.
Selangor club.
Yes. So, but then I went there and I found that it was it didn't resonate well. I mean, the chemistry wasn't there. Then when I went down to Cobra, I met Felix, met Jude.
Of all people.
Yeah, I met your brother Rahim, and they taught me rugby, and I liked the whole camaraderie around it. At that time, Cobra was like probably at the bottom of the barrel. We didn't have we we had the former glory, but we didn't have the silverware to back it up, or we didn't have the numbers to back it up. So it was like a diamond in the rough, and I really liked that whole idea of being the underdog, and but I liked the whole history behind the club, and that's how I got exposed to rugby in Malaysia, and started from college, played with the college team, but trained with the Cobra team as well to get fit and also learn the sport. And I learned a lot about teamwork, about how that oval ball takes over you, and and the best part is like the post game celebration, how like the guys,
yes,
with the opposition. So
that was pre social media, which is great.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how.
Then you became synonymous with being the voice of COBRA 10s, as well as the late Mike Taya. The two of you were a great combination. As someone you obviously we can discuss with as well. But how did you get into it, and then why? I mean, was it something that was thrust into you, or something you volunteered to do?
Like everything in Cobra, it's like you get volunteered into it. So I think the COBRA 10s, I started off as a liaison officer, and I had to look after, and this was the year apartheid got abolished, and I was quite lucky. I mean, like, I got our first South African team that we've had in a long time, and as you know, that they weren't allowed to play they weren't allowed to play in sanctioned matches and all that. So this was the year that apartheid got abolished, and we had to get a team filled from Orange Free State, which is a predominantly traditional state. It's like the Tennessee of South Africa. But they were a good bunch. I mean, they came here. The 10s was still very new to them, the style of playing, and they adapted well, and they were a good bunch of guys. And as the liaison officer, my duty was to make sure that they showed up for games on time, that they were aware of their fixtures, and that generally they knew their way around KL, and being an ambassador of the club and of the country. So that was good fun, which involved a lot of logistics, a lot of making sure that everything went well, and then that slowly graduated into like other elements of the game. So other elements. I mean, I was fortunate enough to play in a COBRA 10 once, and I got my ass handed to me on a plate because we played against guys who were so much more fitter than we were, and so
I share that sentiment. I was on the B squad. I was
quick hello to a COBRA legend and a COBRA 10s legend. Iso Turuva. Hello, selamat datang semua. I think he meant semua. Hello, Snaky, up there in New Zealand. Hope you're doing well, Isoa, and say hi to Sarah as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, you come on and Isoa comes on. Hardly ever comes on unless the king is on.
That's right. That's right.
I think he heard the voice. They're like, "Oh, I know that voice."
Yeah. A quick hello to Rafael as well. Probably still in Pahang, or perhaps still maybe still playing rugby, or is he just administrating now? Right. So basically,
just gotta make the comment, right? It's interesting that a man who's notorious for his time had to get people to be there on time. I just gotta get it out there. Get it out there.
I didn't want to say anything, but yes,
you were smiling.
So the audiences out there, for those of you who don't know, COBRA 10s was actually created by the Cobra Rugby Club. A tennis-side rugby rather was actually created by the Cobra Rugby Club, and now we've been recognized by Asia Rugby as the creator of tennis-side rugby around the world. So that's something to be very, very proud of in our very small, short history as a rugby club. Of course, as you've seen us go from from starting as international in '93 and then growing to what it was. What was your best memories, especially well, not just commentating, but best experiences at a COBRA 10s? Was it at when we were on the field in our own COBRA pitch, or was it at the stadium? Because there's been many changes and the standards had gone higher for the COBRA 10
tournament barbecue.
Oh,
I think the best memory I had for the COBRA 10s, to be honest with you, is when COBRA won. When we first lifted up that trophy after so many years of coming
2008.
Yeah. So that was like the best feeling in the world, because I mean that game was down to the wire, and I was commentating on that game, and the pressure was so high, and you have to keep an even tone when you're doing it, because you have to be impartial. But inside of me, I was just like, my heart was ready to jump out, and like it was just hard to keep track. And when I saw that we won, that was the best feeling in the world. Seeing that, the culmination of everybody's hard work, coming together and seeing that. But I must say that that was the best moment. But every time I have an opportunity to be part of the COBRA 10s, it just shows me how people can work together and get things done, and that transcends all boundaries. And, if a bunch of people can put their differences aside, or or come from different walks of life, different backgrounds, different ways of speaking, different preferred languages, can just put their just work together and get things done. It sometimes boggles me why other people in the corporate sector or even in the government can't do the same for the betterment. That is what the COBRA 10 stands for, the behind the scenes, where people all just work together with one thing in mind, their passion for rugby. I mean, we get people that we used to play against come together and, be supportive of this initiative. And I only see this in rugby. Rugby is one of the sports where, everybody puts their differences aside and works together. And it's amazing. I just love the fact that till today, it keeps on going.
Could it be a mentality thing? Because we all play rugby. So, when you play the game itself, it's a high stress sport that you have to sort of put things aside, just to get the ball over the try line, pretty much.
Yeah.
And putting your body on the line, that matter.
What I love is that, the best practices and the good things that we've learned, it's transcended. I mean, yes, no doubt COBRA 10s is one of the top tournaments in Malaysia, but, you got to give credit where credit is due. The Jonah Jones is an amazing tournament as well. Well organized, good teams.
The NS Royal Sevens.
Yeah, NS Royal Sevens, the MCK Sevens. I mean, it all that rugby is alive and kicking, and even like in Johor, we have the Iskandar Putri Sevens.
Sorry, Suchong. Just kidding. Do you play soccer?
So if you want to irritate anyone, right? Or if you want to know whether they know me or not, just go up to them and ask them, "Hey, man, do you play soccer?"
Do you play soccer?
Right?
That's a famous story.
Sorry. That is what they call. That story goes on almost every. It's like one of those legendary stories,
So, and it has been going around during the COBRA 10s as well. I mean, somebody talks about football, and then you'll hear Azhar again. Do you play soccer? Hey, man, do you play soccer?
It's a phrase.
Yeah.
I gotta put down a T-shirt.
We have that, the soccer thing. We have the blue Hawaiian shirt. Okay. And we have a lot of these, like, little jokes that only come up during the COBRA 10s.
That's right.
And it's amazing how everybody does their part. And, it's tiring because preparation starts at least a month before. for the operations. I mean, preparation starts a year in advance. I mean, the team starts working, getting the sponsorship, getting everything going, getting the teams in, and that's the hard part when you're dealing with logistics. But the crunch time happens 1 month before, and every year I mean, no matter how much you try to plan, there will be wrenches in the works, and you just have to adapt to it. And the best thing is the team that you work with, they just go with the punches, and we do what we need to. But the best part is we still have fun. We still manage to have fun. We annoy each other, but we manage to have fun. And the other thing I get in, year out, and God rest his soul, Uncle Rory, is that the music is not nice. I sound muted, but that's the love of it. They say it because they love you, and like after that you have a drink together with them, or you sing a song, and that's the best part. I mean, whether you're whether you're socially inclined to have Ribena, or you're socially inclined to have the amber nectar, when those songs come on, we all just sing it together, and that's the beauty of it, that camaraderie. So that's what I love most about the Cobra 10s, the atmosphere, the camaraderie.
And of course, someone apart from the late Uncle Rory as well, someone who's been was a stalwart for many years, and someone who's synonymous with Cobra, and especially Cobra 10s, and actually most of the tournaments that have been around in Malaysia is Uncle Yo, and the late Uncle Yo, and of course Auntie Annie as well. Without this man, I think that flag would not be raised during the march past. So remember, Uncle Yo was sadly missed the last few years. Of course, he passed away already. It's been almost 3-4 years now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But he is someone who is very, very, very sorry. It's not because of by the comments. Someone very synonymous with Cobra. So may he rest in peace. Naza saying, is the king wearing spandex?
Not the moment.
And Balu says, is it liquid orange?
Liquid courage, always. That's what right there.
Okay, so
liquid courage on hand.
We've got a couple of the old photos here on our thing. Of course, if those of you who know, this was the stadium that was mostly played at the Cobra 10s, which was the PJ Stadium. But we did play in a few other venues as well. You guys obviously remember the Cheras Stadium. That was our own pitch
that I participated in. So that was quite amazing. And then the official hotel was at that time, I think, was Renaissance.
Yes.
Renaissance. Renaissance.
Out of Africa was still around, wasn't it?
Yes.
Still around? Yes. So that became, the Penguins, Craig Brown and all that used to hang out.
Frequent place, and their much needed
rest
training, rest and recovery.
Renaissance is a very familiar hotel, I think.
It's not around anymore, is it?
No,
it's now the Intermark, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, and then Anaza says, remember the Crown Princess? Of course, the Crown Princess was Crown Princess had many memories and history for quite a few players. Sai is saying commando check. You don't commando check at home. We should be commando checking you because you're abroad.
You're on tour, Sai.
Yeah, you're on tour, Sai. So you can't say commando check. But so we've got. Let me bring back some memories of on video. We've got some of these old, not that old, but old enough. There's one that's about 11 years old. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, you see that? That's the late Uncle Yo, and of course our
Was that
Chairman.
Azhar leading the song on stage?
What? I didn't see. Oh, you mean this one?
Wow.
Wow. Wow. And what were you talking about being the transformation? This 2009. Do you remember that?
I do. Look, my beard was black back then. Look at it now.
Oh, it's refined.
Oh, it's been 11 years. Yeah, you're now,
Yeah, like silver fox now.
Polished. Yeah.
A little bit, tad bit.
So nostalgic?
Yeah, it's very. I mean, the times I've had at Cobra, the friendships I've made, the brotherhood that has been created from Cobra is amazing till today. I mean, to be honest with you, you guys know, like one of our players who played for Scotland as well, Ryan Grant, and then we had some of the guys that played for Cobra in the COBRA 10s who went on to play for the All Blacks and also for the Italian team like Troy. So because of this brotherhood and this continuity of friendship, I was fortunate enough, like when I went to Scotland, I met up with Ryan, met up with his family, and then also Troy, who's now playing in Rome, or now he's playing in Turin, but he was playing at Rome at the time. So you get to see a different side, and in sports, especially rugby, is is an amazing connector of people and personality. So that all came from people that you meet at the COBRA 10s. So the COBRA 10s is really a melting pot, because you never know. Like, I mean, Naza will tell you that Zinzan Brook played in the COBRA 10s as well. He was one of the famous All Blacks, and
we had players who eventually became New Zealand players. I think Josh Ioni, Ben Smith.
Ben Smith, yeah.
Yeah, and then there was one. He was in the development squad. Mark Tellier. I think he may have had a cap, but he's definitely in Super Rugby right now.
Exactly. So I mean, Malaysia has actually had many good rugby players that have come here. I mean, even like to plug the Jonah Jones a bit. I mean, you had the Underwood brothers that played for RSC as well. So that whole the beauty of rugby is that it bridges the gap. It's a global sport, and I think it's one of those things that really helps you break the ice. I mean, especially like when you go to a country where you don't know people, and rugby is one of those sports that really like help you connect. As you guys know, I mean, I studied in the States and played rugby over there, and that is what really improved my friendships throughout the States and during my time there. If not, I think it would have been a lot more difficult.
What you've pointed out there is that you got top flight players or potential players actually playing in an environment which you look at some other sports, they won't let them play because look, you're a top flight player, you don't go play down there, that sort of thing. Yeah, whereas some of these guys are actually willing to go go on tour, which is like a staple when it comes to rugby.
And sorry, and it's like the humility of rugby players and the ability to learn, I think, is what makes us a different breed, So it's like people always wonder how come we can deal with challenges, how we can adapt. I mean, one point question is like Rashid. I mean, he's a very versatile actor. If you see some of his early work, I mean, he was not only Rashid, he was, Rahima. He was like Achog, and like till today, I mean, like whenever I see reruns of Kopitiam, it's like, oh my God, that's Rashid. And then I can picture him doing that to, like, when we were going to certain establishments.
all I know is, the Rashid that I know in real life is vastly different from the Rashid on stage, man.
Thank goodness too. Anyway, so of course,
let's go back. Yeah,
coming back to the COBRA 10s.
Meanwhile,
the COBRA 10s. You talked about how we won the 2008 COBRA 10s.
Yeah.
I remember, in fact, we even covered the year after, for 2009 when we had it on the field. This was the 2009 COBRA 10s. Nikki obviously was still playing then, and we've got some pictures when we were at the Padang, and there's behind you was still the paintball.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember. So a lot of that was still happening then as well. And then moving forward, of course, a very much younger.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
A very much younger.
He's on the fitness wagon. He's on his comeback trail.
Oh yeah.
He's putting time into his diet, into his gym, and everything. He's dropped quite a few kilos. He's inspired by the King's body transformation, I believe.
Okay, all right. So as the years progressed, we saw a lot more. Became a lot more competitive.
Yeah.
The COBRA 10s. We had one year when we had the, if you can remember, the national teams, not just at the Commonwealth Games, but we had like Museum Maoris coming too. Do you guys remember that we had that? I remember having the Japanese teams, Kobe Steel, turn up and play. Again, do you recall those matches? I mean, those tournaments when we had international teams playing at the COBRA 10s. That was an experiment that was done at the COBRA 10s as well.
Yeah, what I liked was the fact that, I mean, we had some very interesting teams, some Dutch teams. We had also like French teams that came along, and then towards the later part, it was good that we had a little bit more. We had all the international teams. We had the Penguins. We had teams from South Africa. We had teams from New Zealand, Australia. We had a good representation, and then we even opened it up for. I think it was an active decision to open it up to more Malaysian clubs to participate, and it was good. I think it gave them the exposure and the desire to get that international feel, and it prepared them more for a chance to when they had the opportunity to go participate in tournaments overseas, when they get invited or when they're doing friendlies and all that. They know what to expect, and it really opened up the game. And I like the fact that later on, we even opened it up for the schools to have we incorporated the COBRAs into the COBRA 10s, and they had an opportunity to have a exhibition game, and then we also had the ladies rugby, and so it showed a expansion of the rugby. And I mean, we had also main sponsors like time.com back then, who added a bit of interestingness by having Ning Baizura and Elaine Daly on the field. I think that's when we saw participation or viewership grow. Yeah. So the fact that that's one thing we love about COBRA and the COBRA 10s. We're not afraid to experiment and have more inclusion. And by virtue of that is also stepping the quality of the game up by inviting stronger teams, and they would come because I mean they want to gauge who are the what's the level like. And what that did also is it showcased some of our good players, and I'm sure that a lot of our players that played either for Cobra or some of the other teams, they were headhunted, or they were scouted for bigger and better things. I think that's what Ben Smith was doing here. He was getting a bit more exposure before going back, and I'm glad to see that the names that were participants in the Cobra 10s have gone on to bigger, better things, and they remember Cobra. That's what we like, and they remember Malaysia whenever we mention it, or whenever I say that oh, I'm from Malaysia, I used to play rugby, and then when I mention Cobra, whoa, it's like, whoa, okay, we know that. So much so, I think sometimes they think that Cobra is Malaysia, Malaysia is Cobra.
Well, some have said that. Quick hello to Baba. He's saying, "What up, Dylan? King Azhar." And then Ramesh saying, Nazar Bohan, Captain Dean, the yoga master.
Oh.
And Uncle Safa, I said, hi Azhar, salam to you and all on air. A minute from now used to be the common phrase.
That one I must give credit to Brian Pereira, because before we had Mike Tyre and myself, we had Brian Pereira. I was his understudy. He was instrumental in giving me the proper procedure of how to announce a rugby game. What are the do's and don'ts? So big up to him.
The old way of doing things.
Yes, yeah. And sometimes you got to strike a balance between tradition and the new way of doing things, because especially now with this Gen Y, it's like we are the old guy now.
Gen and millennium now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gen Z, isn't it?
Actually, it's Gen Alpha now.
Alpha. Yeah.
See,
you're way behind, bro.
Things move slow down south, okay?
Yeah.
In Jajahan.
Oh, what are you saying? I'm not gonna. Let's not go there. But anyway, you touched on some very good points in your conversation. Obviously, you talked about the Cobra 10 schools, the Cobra 10s mini, and the ladies. It's something I'd like to touch upon. Of course, the Cobra 10 schools was mooted because we wanted more participation from schools around the country, and that was done through certain sponsors like the YRM Development and of course CIMB Foundation, which was very much instrumental in developing our youth rugby at Cobra as well, because our Cobra Academy was benefited well for that, and we've had a few of those players play in the Cobra 10s as well. Now the Cobra Ladies 10s and the Cobra 10s Mini. Let's have a quick look at the Cobra 10s Mini. For those of you who don't know here's a little video. What Cobra 10 Mini, especially from the under 8s point of view.
So, and then,
stay back a bit, just in case the ball flies back, you can catch, and if the ball goes over, you can go and chase. Okay? All right?
And there you go.
Memories.
2018. So we had more of ladies Cobra Minis. When did Cobra 10s Minis was started or restarted?
The COBRA 10s minis 2016. I think we had our first 2016, which is at our field itself.
Right.
I think it's 2016. So I think it's 2016. I think.
Okay,
that's right.
Yeah. But prior to that, we did have, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Colonel Charlie Wong.
Yes.
We had like a Cobra 10s for the Cobras that was held. I think that was the time that our field was not available, so we had to do it in Padang, not Padang Utara, but Padang Astaka, and it
Padang
comes.
Timur.
Yeah, Padang Timur, sorry. It's time corrected. So Padang Timur, and the final was held at the PJ Stadium in Kelana Jaya. So that was quite fun as well, because seeing the passion on these kids' eyes is just something else. And I think the most rewarding thing about rugby and the Cobra 10s is seeing these kids, how passionate they are about, and how they're into it. And then the best part is when you see the parents, getting involved, especially those parents that don't, and I take my hats off to Dylan and the rest of the parents who look after these kids, because they take time out of their busy schedule, and they give themselves selflessly to keeping the Cobrats going, and it's just amazing the level of patience that they have, the level of commitment, and I just take my hat.
It kind of jars with the family, when we talk about brotherhood, or sometimes Eugene would like to shout family, that's always been the values that we tend to subscribe to. And I think it just comes on into the junior section, because they don't have the other extras that come along in the senior section, but it's still all about family, which I mean, Cobra always, we talk about family, and even the rugby game itself. So I think it just translates down there. So and I can say that, like in the COBRA 10s minis, when you say about how people get together to get a tournament going, we had about at least 90 teams to manage in that in a one-day tournament. 90 teams to manage, and it's thankfully we managed to pull it off, and on time. We had to pull in the parents, volunteers, and even setting up the field itself. You can imagine setting up about 10 rugby pitches overnight for it.
It always amazes me how the team can put that together, because like from the Cobrats and to the senior level, I mean, I take my hats off to the team behind the scenes, the ones that do the setup, and more so the actual team on ground on the day at the field, led by Dr. Ernest, and also the other doctors that are involved, because I have never seen the level of safety in any other game. I mean, you guys are aware that I was involved in junior cycling as well, and it's because of the safety that I saw in rugby that I made sure that, okay, when we're doing the cycling thing, we got to make sure we adhere to all this. And they're like, hang on, why do we need so many ambulances? Why do we need so many doctors? And I'm like, this is more of a high impact sport. So this all stemmed from Dr. Ernest telling us, like, look, we need to make sure that that we have all these medical facilities available on call, and then we have all the other things put in place. I mean, one thing good about how we do rugby for the Cobra 10s, for the Cobrats equivalent, is that we make sure that we have the right medical facilities, the right medical staff, and also the necessary insurance to ensure that we're responsible in the way we run an event. And these are all, I must say, are lessons that have prepared me throughout organizing sporting events, or a lot of the events that we do in Johor as well, to make sure that, okay, this is the checklist that Cobra taught me, this is the checklist that the Cobra 10s has taught me. So we got to make sure, on the field, off the field. And I love the fact that we don't discriminate. For the kids, we have the same, if not more, the highest level. So, and I'm glad that the the other teams like the Saracens and KL Tigers, they carry that same level of standard that we have set. And then the rugby unions and the state federations as well have also adhered to that best practice that we have unofficially been practicing. They look at us and they learn.
we didn't realize we set a benchmark until somebody started copying us, right?
Yes, I know. Even our shows. But anyway, we won't go there. Baba just mentioned. I suppose he missed that. He said, "Why don't you all sing that classic Sunshine Mountain song?" Well, Baba, since you came on a bit late, come. We'll sing it for you from 2009. Yeah. There you go. Memories, Baba? Okay.
That's what every time I see I see the video and I see you now. Yeah, don't skip cardio day, man. Don't skip cardio day. Chief, results will come. Results will come.
Results will come.
Cardio.
Living proof right there.
It's not a sprint. It's a journey. It's a marathon. It's a life journey. It's a lifestyle change.
I think that's why they term king. I think you are the king of mountain, right? It comes in cycling terminology.
Well, no, I'm not the KOM per se. I mean,
king of mountain.
I don't really keep track of my
just the king of O.
Yeah.
So, of course, the later we've got a bit more sophisticated with the way we promoted our COBRA 10s. Me having a bit more free time gave us a little bit more impetus on how we promoted our club. And of course, from 2015, I was a bit more involved in terms of the marketing side. Obviously, when we had the 2015 COBRA 10s here at the stadium, we had this promo, if anyone remembers it. Might not, but here it is. And that was the start of COBRA TV. Do you know that? That's 5 years ago.
Whoa. Time flies with everyone.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Azhar Ramli saying, hula!
All the snakes are coming out for this show.
And then and the year after, we did some really a series of short commercials that highlighted the COBRA 10s. And this was 2016, I think. Have a look at this. If you recognize any of the players, they were all paid. Okay, FYI. That was the first teaser called Boots. This was the second one. Remember which? Do any recognize the players? Come on, guys! Don't tell me you don't know who the players are. If you know, guys out there, audience, let us know. Second one is this one. Okay, that was the second one. And then there was a third one. Okay, and then this one was slightly controversial, but I think the ladies loved it a bit more. So, Sae, here's one for you.
That's quite the shower scene.
I know. And then we had the final teaser, which was this one. And then it culminated to the final full a commercial, which was this. Which now can be used every year, because I didn't put that was the one prior to all the videos and everything. So we did all How did I? Baba said, "How did I get to keep a straight face?" Scorsese did music. That's because they were paid to do it. If they were free, would never have been able
was
to
trying very hard not to laugh, though, I think. How many takes did he take with Sai, man?
and that was all done obviously in house, and it was to show people that it was all the COBRA 10s, not just any tournament, but the COBRA 10s wasn't just all about being out on the field, but a lot of stuff that happens before going onto the pitch and what players go through. That's something that you don't regularly get to see as an audience or spectator. So it was a different, look at how not just COBRA 10s, but how rugby players prepare. Albeit not everyone has a shower before, but the shower scene was prominent in that sense as well.
This is what Azhar, it's in your view, it's like all these tournaments that we've organized and stuff, right? Yeah, there's one key word. Do you agree when we pretty much did everything in house, right down to the marketing? Even I remember the last couple of years we live streamed the matches, and I was doing the live commentary. So I was just wondering, it was like doing it. Did you think that was there any element where we really had to outsource?
Well, I mean, most of it we did it in house because we understood the subject matter, and I think we have. There's certain things that we did outsource that made sense, like some of the public relations, the media engagement. That all, I mean, some of it we had to do, but then the thing with COBRA is that we have such a diverse bunch of individuals. So even if we have to outsource anything, there will be somebody within our, that can do it for the best price, which is in COBRA terms is free. So,
So very fair and generous terms, guys.
Yeah. Yes, I know. Very fair and generous terms. So you might get a number nectar or two.
Yeah. That was our payment back then.
Yeah. Still is.
But now
it's Wong Keng Meng going around with the coupons.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
But now as we get older, we want, our value also increases. So the viscosity of that amber nectar also increases. So I think we graduate from the gassy stuff to the more robust. Refined.
I don't know. Maybe you, but the rest of us are still mongrels, I think.
It's all refined until the coos comes up to become the judge. Then it's
It's all refined until the snitches all come out of the woodwork.
Downhill from there. Yeah. So I mean, we have such a diverse pool of people who are always helpful. So we have people who are multi-talented. So I think we try our best to do things in-house. But our house is big. I mean, like I mentioned before, during the COBRA 10s, we have people from other clubs that come and help out as well. We will always have Mike from
Michael Lai.
RSC. He's always there. We have Ade from that's always there to help out with the scoring. Bob, the referees. I mean, they come from all diverse.
Abang. I mean, it's Naza's liaison officers who are amazing. Who's been
also my assistant. I mean, the one that always helps me out year in year out. I'll never forget him because he comes all the way from Negeri Sembilan to come and help out, and he helps out with the music and helps out doing all the running around and making sure that we have the right teams. And I have faulted a time that I've mentioned the instead of the NZ, the NZ Wanderers becomes the NS New Zealand Legends or something like that.
But not forgetting the one person we should also really acknowledge and very important to the COBRA 10s is the man who became the tournament director and from day one until today, Francis Chu.
Yes,
he's been the first tournament director in 1967, and he has not relinquished his post. Of course, he's been looking for someone to take over, but he's been the tournament director for for 49, and hopefully next year will be his final year. We've got to give that man a rest.
Yeah.
Can't help it. He's the best.
He knows what he's doing. He's got his team. His team has been amazing. I mean, and they've been up to scratch. I mean, this is a man who is very important in getting all out the team, the team names, the whole tournament running, and kudos to him, because not enough credit is given to Francis Juve, and these guys work behind the scenes very hard, and and they when he told I interviewed him once, and when he said he was given thrust the job in 1967, he hasn't stopped since. So yeah, there's people like that who will be missed and are very much synonymous with the COBRA 10s.
Yeah, and I think the good thing about COBRA is also there is an element of succession planning. Sometimes you're thrust into it. I think in my case, starting off as a liaison officer, and then after that being a team manager for a short while, and then thrust into the whole thing of being the announcer, being Brian Pereira's understudy, and then also the supporting Mike Taya as well, wherever I can. So I think there is that progression, and I think over the years we've had other young blood like Rizal Van Giesel that came in and did some announcements once in a while. So we always had that that, and I'd like to see more of the I don't want to sound like one of the old guys, but more young getting involved.
But you are.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Trust me, you are.
Yes.
No running from the fact. Sorry.
Mm.
Of course, we'd like to see more. I mean, we had the young blood organizing the internal sevens, right? Internal 10s or sevens.
Internal 10s.
And they found it. They realized how hard it was just to organize a small tournament like that, and to run a COBRA 10s is a whole ball game altogether. People like Faiz, TJ, behind
the season, TJ, Faiz, they are regulars, right?
I know, but again, not enough credit is given to these guys behind the scenes when they're doing stuff, and really getting it done, and really getting stuff, moving. Many unnamed people who've done a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we will, and hopefully, we'll be around for the COBRA 10s in the 50th COBRA 10s. And on that note, it's been well over an hour. It's been very much a pleasure for having you on the show with us, Azhar. We hope to see you more often at the club now that you're back.
Yes.
Do make a point to make a beeline to the bar and restaurant. For those of you, of course, who are still starved of rugby, we've got the Argentina against New Zealand tomorrow. Should be at the club. It'll be at 4:45, I think, or 3:45 at the club.
4:45.
4:45.
4:45 of Malaysian time. That's
4:45 Malaysian. This is New Zealand, Australian time.
Yeah.
So, catch it at the club. Do come by the club and enjoy, the company with the rest of the rugby boys, the lads here. COBRA Club is open for those who don't get to watch the Tri Nations. Come to COBRA, and of course, observe all the SOPs and everything else that goes with it as well. Right. So, Azhar, thank you once again for joining us.
Our pleasure.
I'm glad that you've got the COBRA tie on, so you don't get kangaroo courted or anything. Any last words?
Well, to all the viewers out there, keep supporting COBRA. Looking forward to next year's COBRA 10s, but before that, I'm sure I'll catch up with you in the club now that I'm back KL side.
And join us on a tour.
Yeah.
Apparently, there is. You have left a T-shirt on one of our tour locations some years back, so we need to go back and retrieve it.
Yes. it has to be done.
We'll go help you out. That's all the guys are willing to help you out.
I need 15 men to support me. I mean, you know.
That's
So
right.
it's like Azan leaving his sunglasses in Borneo, so I have to go back and look for it as well.
We're always leaving stuff behind. We're such careless people, you know.
Oh, I have to go back and look for it. Anyway, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. For those of you, of course, if you'd like to know more about Cobra, don't forget to send a messenger on Facebook or email us at CobraRC website at gmail.com. Or if you'd like to know more about the bar and restaurant, call Uncle Boone or Mr. Boone at 012-212-7000. Ask him about the opening times and the lunch promotions that's happening at the club from Sunday to Sunday. Just to give you again the final thing, the bar and restaurant is open from Monday to Saturdays from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. Sundays it opens around 3 p.m. And do follow the CMCO SOPs, temperature checks, detailed recordings, social distancing, and the last call at 11:15 p.m.
Training is not on for all age groups and teams until further notice. We're hoping for some relaxation on the rules, but again, safety first. So take care. Stay fit at home. You can still work out.
Be like us.
Woohoo! Yeah. Marry a fitness trainer. You will be sorted.
All that, yes.
That's right. And we'll find one day you will actually find out what there's the king. He's king, but king of we'll leave it at that.
Come and see me.
Now, from all of us here at Cobra TV, this has been the Friday Sessions. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks.